Good morning. I am here at Stansted. I'm just about to leave my hotel and I'm on a bit of a personal mission this weekend to a very special place. It's kind of known as the real world Hogwarts. It's a spiritual college called Arthur Findlay College. It's in this gorgeous old hall. It looks absolutely stunning, so I can't wait to get around it and show you all around it. Basically, Arthur Findlay have got an open weekend this weekend, and it is just literally 4 days of seminars, of mediumship demonstrations, of learning new skills. Rather than jumping into bed with a residential straight away, I wanted to kind of go and figure out the lay of the land, go and see if there was a particular discipline or course that I felt pulled to. We've got a back-to-back schedule for Saturday and Sunday, and it kicks off today with a welcome from the Minister Jackie Wright, the President, and then it goes into an hour-long lecture with Margaret Falconer, which is starting your journey into mediumship. So I am really interested in learning more about this because I already have clairs. I know about them. I know how to utilize them in some ways with divination tools, but I would love to hone them, and I don't know anyone where I can ask questions without having to go to Google or read a book. And I just want to be able to be around people who already possess the skill, who already do a lot of in-person readings. Like, I'm too afraid to do readings on other people. I'm just very, very much used to working with myself. So yeah, I kind of wanted to delve a little bit deeper. So I'm not clairvoyant, and I have absolutely no expectation that that is what is going to come out of this. I just very much want to work with the three that I already kind of have learned to just manhandle by myself. I don't know. Who knows what else it unlocks? So yeah, I'm just bringing you along for the journey. It's worth mentioning that Arthur Findlay is run by the Spiritualist Church. You don't have to be a spiritualist in order to enjoy the offerings at Arthur Findlay. In between sessions, I decided to nip into the shop, and of course I brought home things. I brought a couple of different decks. I got myself a nice little angel, a pair of earrings, lots of stuff. It is the 60th anniversary this year of the college, hence why they've decided to do this amazing open weekend in celebration of that. It is difficult to film in here. There's a lot of restrictions on what you can and can't film, so you are going to get me eating my lunch, unfortunately. And to be honest, you know, to have respect for the mediums and for the people receiving messages, the last thing you want is everybody with their phones out filming things. So a lot of these sessions, you might just get the beginning of the session before I actually enter into doing any work. So around lunchtime, I also had a little sneak peek around the gardens. It is absolutely stunning, especially because we had such good weather this weekend as well. Can you believe that this was actually Arthur Findlay's own home before he passed that on along to the SNU? I'm going to tell you more at the end about what actually happened throughout the day because it was just easier to film it as a block in my hotel room. But let's just say it's been a wild ride this morning already. It was then time to go into the library to join in the last session before leading on to a very special evening of mediumship with TJ Higgs. This event was ticketed only and it completely sold out. Every single seat was gone. And honestly, I can see why. She was just unbelievably talented. Every single reading that she had come through and message she had come through, there wasn't a beat off track with the reading itself. I don't actually think she got a single no the entire time, which is a massive achievement for doing, nearly 2 hours worth of readings for a whole room. So a very full-on day here from 9 a.m. and it's now 9 p.m. and I'm very much ready to go back to my hotel room. Day one. Wow. That was pretty mental and intense. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. From the moment that I arrived into the welcome discussion and the very first lecture, so for like the first 2 hours, I felt really, really strong emotions. I felt this overwhelming nervousness and on the verge of tears actually at times. And I'm very like I say, I'm claircognizant, clairaudient and clairsentient, so picking up on other people's emotions is like an average day. And I'm normally quite good at being able to block it out. So at first I thought it was just because there was so many people in one space. There was over like 200-300 people sat in, the same area, all kind of psychically trying to connect with one another. So I just thought this is a lot of psychic, emotional energy in one space, and that's probably what it is that I'm struggling today. But after the first hour, I was like, okay, this doesn't feel like it's what I'm picking up on everybody else. It feels like it's within me. And why is that? Like, what is that for? I don't understand. Like, I'm not anxious, I'm not nervous, I just couldn't get my head around it. But basically, we were all put into pairs in our workshop, and we were only really supposed to read one another in their current situation. So we're just supposed to give like a bit of an assessment about that person, as opposed to trying to channel spirit and actually give a message. So I went first, and that's exactly what I did. Kind of gave my own psychic assessment of this person, which was really, really accurate. And then she was like, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be able to do that, but I've got someone that's desperately trying to come through. And she was like, I just need to give you this message. Now, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of who it is, what it is. I think it's probably really obvious for anyone who does know me well. But I've not had a message from this person in 8 years. I've been to a number of psychics and he has never come through. So she went on to give an extremely accurate reading of the situation of this person. And it was just a bit crazy. It doesn't end there. So I go to my next workshop, and it's a whole new bunch of people, completely different setting. This one's about a completely different topic. It's about perception. And within this particular workshop, I get partnered with a new person, and this, you don't get put together. So you had to find one another. So she was sat next to me. I was like, should we just partner? And she was like, yeah, sure, why not? And again, the same thing. We were supposed to hold kind of a current event in our mind of something that important and big that's happened to us. And then you're supposed to just kind of read back what that event somebody's thinking about. So I went first. I did exactly that. I got it right, more or less. A few little details were not quite there. She's a very experienced medium, just like the first one. I'm a very inexperienced medium. So the reason I've come to this college is because I want to learn more about how to harness that particular power. So she's a very experienced medium, and she was like, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be able to do the task because I've just got this man here who is just very insistent that I give you a message. And off she went for the next 5 minutes, just giving me this message. Exactly the same person, got every single beat right. And I was like, wow, there's two. Okay, there's been nothing in 8 years, and now there's two. And then there's a third as well later on in a group reading. So it's a platform reading, and up he pops again with more of a message. So pretty crazy. I obviously didn't come here expecting readings. That's not really what I came for. But yeah, amazing workshops, really picked up on a lot of really key little nuggets of knowledge, which is what I was hoping for. Obviously, these are taster sessions, so this isn't like doing a full course, but there are things about grounding perception, kind of clearing your field, and just being able to surrender to the process of receiving. And actually, the idea that we're not all clairvoyant, because we are. And I've always said, I'm not clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. No, it's part of clairvoyance. It's just that you have kind of key pathways that is the least route of resistance. So those are just kind of your primary ways of receiving messages. It doesn't mean that you can't access the whole, you can't receive it in other ways, and that actually stunts your growth of development. And so I very much learned that as well, which is really, really critical, I think, to my advancement. I like the fact that this college blends kind of neuroscience, psychology, scientific fields with the spiritualism aspect and the mediumship. There really is a blend of those things, which I think is really, really critical. I think when you are only willing to go down one avenue, whether that's just the kind of spiritualist religious route or whether it is just the kind of mediumship route without consideration for the psychology of a person or without the consideration of the neuroscience, how the physical brain actually works, then I think it very much stunts your ability to understand and discern the difference between things. So that's why this works for me. I feel like I would very much struggle, which is probably why I've never really had a circle to go to. I would struggle if people are not willing to kind of look at the whole picture of what makes somebody who they are in their physical form and in their spirit form. I'm off now for day 2. I've got back-to-back seminars and workshops again, do finish earlier today. I am also going to try and get booked in for my own trance reading. The difficulty with this is I can't film a lot of what is going on out of respect for the readers and obviously the people receiving messages. I can't actually film a lot of these seminars. It's not that kind of environment that would allow that sort of intrusive thing to occur. So there is a lot of talking head on this. I will try and get some shots around the college, and there are some areas we can't film. I will try and make it a little bit more interesting while I edit this together. But yeah, off I am for day 2, very excited, particularly after yesterday, after receiving messages I certainly didn't expect to receive. So open-minded, let's see what today brings. So straight into the first lecture, which was showing me how to conduct a private one-to-one sit-in, which of course I have never done before. I have been the sitter many times, but it's good to know what other people's process is to try and ensure that they are obviously conducting the best sit-in that they can for their receiver. I had to leave this one slightly early because it was time for me to receive my own evidential reading. But because I'd obviously had a number of messages that I didn't expect, I was not really expecting spirit necessarily to come through and for it to be a different type of reading. And of course I'll explain exactly what that was at the end of today's video. Had a really great reading and I was left with sort of an hour and a half before the final session of the day, so I spent more time in the garden. I'd bought a number of secondhand books which are going to be going in my new shop, Craft House, but I thought I'd give them a little read myself, so I just went on the hunt of a really nice sort of secluded space where I could get comfortable and sit down and read one of the books. There is an awful lot of land to explore with Stansted Hall. I was quite happy when I stumbled across these tree stumps which had been made into little seats, so of course that was the perfect place for me to sit and have a little read through my book. One of the things about me is I'm always a super busy person and I never get really good time to myself to actually just sit and read, which I do genuinely love to do. So I do try to take advantage of any opportunity where I have the space to absorb and get lost in a book. Oh my gosh, okay, what a day. I'm totally pooped, so I figured rather than doing the usual profresh and actually setting up, I'm just going to film this lying down. Insane day, really busy, really full on. First session was about trying to discern the difference between using your psychic ability and using your mediumship ability. I always knew there was a distinct difference between the two because I've always found the psychic stuff much easier. It's kind of my well-trodden path. It's my basic core skill set that I use all the time. The skill set that I struggle with is the mediumship. It is kind of pulling in from spirit and actually being able to receive message from spirit that isn't just reading the other person that's in front of me. And so that's why I chose to go to that particular lecture. And it was really, really helpful because she taught us kind of how to spot the difference, because sometimes, and you will find this if you go to readings, sometimes you will find that the reader that is in front of you is actually using their psychic skills to read the energy around you, as opposed to actually bringing in that information directly from spirit. So it's not a message, they are just picking up on the story and the situation from you and your energy field. So it is a completely different skill, and it's a completely different reading, and not every medium is particularly honest about that. So that was a really, really good session. The second session was more about being able to do a sit-in start to finish, and how to construct a sitting if you were going to start doing one-to-ones. This is quite possibly one of the most difficult ways to film this, to be honest with you. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's way easier if I'm just sat upright, but I'm so tired. I did actually do my first readings this weekend as well. I never do readings for other people just because I have a severe lack of confidence in it, and I don't particularly trust myself either. I trust myself with myself, but the minute it is for somebody else, I've always really, really struggled to trust that. As soon as the lecturer knew that, she actually pulled me out and said, you know what, you're going to be brave today. You're going to come up in front of the class of everybody, and you're going to do a mediumship reading right now of the room. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. Amazingly, I did it. I managed it. I managed to pull out that this was a young man. It was somebody's brother. He'd had like a lot of anxious feelings and grief towards the end of his life, and I managed to pick up on a few of the facts about him, which was directly for this lady in front of me. Everything that I picked up, she said, was exactly right. So that was amazing to kind of have my first experience just be thrust into it in front of a group of people. After that, I kind of had another few experiences, but mostly they were not mediumistic, they were psychic. They were me using the skills that I use every single day. So the second session went really well, but I'm just reading their aura. I'm reading all the information that their particular energy field has already given me. So of course it was going to be accurate. It's what I'm used to doing. So I was really proud of myself for the mediumship one, because I said to her basically that I never get a full picture. I never get the person coming through. I only get half a story. So I'll get either a situation or a scene like halfway through the story rather than the start. And that's why she pulled me up, because she was like, that's not true. She was like, you're getting that information. You're just not tuning in, and you just don't know you're getting that information. So we're going to test that theory now. You're going to have the confidence to come up, and you're going to I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to be talking you through it, and I will verify whether what you're getting is also right from what I'm getting, as well as the person that you've got in front of you that you're doing the reading for. So yeah, it was amazing to have a tutor there to be able to talk you through it, and to know when you're on the right track, or maybe you're not sitting in your feelings enough. So that whole section was on clairsentience, which is kind of my key skill out of all of them, which is probably why it worked really well. So I'm really, really drained. It's been a lot in 2 days. Do I want to come back? Yes, absolutely. I will come back and do a course. I think there's something to be said for joining a circle when I get back home. I think the key is going to be to flex this muscle. Like, I'm going to have to use it way more than I do if I want to get loads out of it. I'm going to read you a channeling that I wrote today while I was wandering around the gardens and sort of taking a half an hour break out. And I never normally do this, but I'm going to start doing it. So I'll read it to you now. I suppose I can close with it. The only truth is your own truth. It's the connection you have to spirit. Everything outside of that, even your own thoughts, is a distortion. It is layers of conditioning, behaviours, teachings, processes and expectations that the world has imprinted upon you. You cannot trust any of those pieces of information. This is why you must stay skeptical. You must stay grounded, and you must stay connected to yourself and spirit. That is the only true guidance that you will ever receive. You must use it, your inner compass, to guide you on your path. It's about trusting your own instincts and connection to see you through life. Be open and willing to learn a new truth that replaces your old one. Be a student of life. Don't get stuck on identity and who you think that you are in order to become someone new tomorrow. The only real universal truth for humanity is to give and receive love. Even in these challenging times, love will be the healing of all wounds. And I suppose I'll end this weekend there. Peace and love.